Welcome to America, the once great nation. Today we're going to do a little something different. We're going to do this, I guess we'll call this a spotlight on a hero. And what I'd like to do is talk about, and I will talk about men and women who have received the highest honors during wartime. And I'd like to spotlight those men and women and show that we did have people in the past who sacrificed themselves for the good of the nation, being in war. And of course, that means, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm. And again, I can understand how people will say, well, we don't like war, but we send people to war and they do their duty. And I think they need to be represented. Now, our first spotlight is going to be on Arthur Wermuth. He was in World War II, and he was born May 3rd, 1915, passed away in June 13, 1981. He received the Distinguished Service Cross, the Silver Star, and 4 Purple Hearts. He ended up as a Japanese prisoner of war during World War II. He was trained in Wilderness Survival School. He entered into active duty in 1941, and he was stationed in the Philippines. He was in the 57th Infantry Regiment, and he was basically charged with organizing a group of Filipino scouts into a group of snipers that were called the Suicide Scouts. Basically, the group was credited with killing hundreds of enemy soldiers. He was spared the famous death march due to his wounds that he received and was in a Japanese hospital at the time. He was severely beaten while in captivity, and he was sent back to an enemy hospital, Japanese hospital. And while being transported on a Japanese hospital ship, excuse me, it was bombed by allies who mistook it for a Japanese war vessel. Hundreds of POWs were killed. He had received his 4th Purple Heart from that action. He then ended up in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. The prisoner camp was liberated by the Russians in 1945. He had lost some 80 pounds while he was in the POW camp. When he came home, he was credited by the Philippine Scouts as the best soldiers in the world. Unfortunately, his life was not peaceful after the war. He had his run-ins with the law. You may well ask why we are spotlighting this man. Well, many of his soldiers in his era were willing to die for the country and enduring much suffering during World War II. He was remembered as a hero, and they were, cut from a different cloth than some of the kids we see today on our campuses, and how they basically fall into a fetal position if someone conservative is going to give a speech. And they want to find their safe spaces. These men, I think, were part of the greatest generation that ever lived. They stopped the axis of evil at that time. And I think these men should be remembered because most of them will be gone soon, and we will not hear their words again. We will not hear their stories again. We will only have film. And I just thought it would be good every once in a while to spotlight these men and women who have fought bravely for this country. And I hope that everybody will like and subscribe to this channel and give us a like for these types of videos. Thank you.